Hi dear students, I welcome you all back to the session. So in the last session you learned about functional testing and I hope you understand functional testing now. So let us see what is non-functional testing in this session. Okay, so non-functional testing, it is basically testing of a product which is similar to your functional testing but differs from some aspects which are like complexity, knowledge requirement, and then effort which is needed, and number of times the test cases are repeated. And since repeating the non-functional test cases involves more number of time and then effort and resources, the process for non-functional testing has to be robust and stronger than the functional testing, just to minimize the need for the repetition. So this is actually achieved by having more stringent entry and exit criteria. So I hope you know what is entry and exit criteria. Last session we had discussed. Okay, so better planning you need to have, and by setting up the configuration with the data population in advance for the test execution. So here are some aspects you can see to have the non-functional testing. You need to consider all these aspects, which are setting up the configuration, coming up with your entry and exit criteria, balancing the key resources, and the scalability testing, reliability testing, and stress and interoperability testing. So let us see these one by one. Setting up the configuration. So basically you have set up your environment, which is nothing but your physical setup for the application to run. It can be your hardware setup or it can be your software setup for the application to run. So it is basically, one is simulated environment and the other one is real life customer environment. So I'll tell you the difference between these two. So you will be developing the application in the simulated environment, okay? Or it is simulated environment is nothing but it will be same as your real life customer environment, nothing but your production environment, okay? So you can call it as production environment, which is live to the user, and the simulated environment is also called as a staging environment, okay? Wherein you will have the same environment setup as your production environment, okay? So your software has to run in that particular environment, so you need to make sure that your simulated environment is same as your real life customer environment, because you will be performing all the testing here, you will be writing the code here in the simulated environment. So that is why it should be same as your production environment, so that we will get less number of errors or bugs when you transfer this complete application to the production environment, or when you give your application which is developed in simulated environment to the customer real life environment, okay? So due to varied types of customer, resources availability and time involved in getting up the setup done and so on, setting up the scenario that is exactly real life is sometimes difficult. So as we have different customer types, okay, so the customers are different and the resources available with him are different, and the time involved in getting up the setup done is difficult. So it is basically a difficult task to set up the real life environment in your stimulated environment, okay? So due to several complexities involved, simulated setup is used for non-functional testing, where actual configuration is sometimes difficult to get. So as I have told in the previous point, so getting up the exact production environment is difficult task. So you need to perform all your testing in the simulated setup itself, and for the non-functional testing aspects. Let us see what is entry and exit criteria. So there are types of testing which you perform, and there are parameters on which you perform, and there is your entry criteria and exit criteria. So here first I am performing the scalability testing for the maximum limits for the application to hold. So the entry criteria for this is product should scale up to 1 million records or 1000 users. So product should be able to stretch to 1 million records when there are 10,000 users which are querying to your application. Okay. And the exit criteria is, so product should scale up to 10 million records or 5,000 users. Okay. So when you meet this criteria, you will stop having the scalability testing. Next is performance testing. Performance testing is done on the parameters response time, throughput, latency, and sample entry criteria are query for 1000 records should have a response time less than 3 seconds. So when 1000 queries are requested to your application at the same time, the response time should not take less than 3 seconds. Okay, this is the entry criteria to have your performance test. And what is the exit criteria? Query for 10,000 records should have less than 3 seconds. So your response should be less than 3 seconds when 10,000 queries are given to your application. Okay. So what is reliability testing? So here the parameters considered are failure per iteration and failures per test duration. So sample entry criteria to get into the reliability testing is, so there should be less than 2% of failures when queries are run on 1000 records for 24 hours. So whenever you are having a query to the system, there should be less than 2% of failures. Okay, it can be any kind of application failure. Okay, so this is your entry criteria. And exit criteria, there should be less than 0.1% failure when queries are run 1000 records for 48 hours. Okay. Then what is stress testing? So stress is basically giving your system more number of users to withstand that capacity to handle all the requests or all the users logged in. So system when stressed behind limits, you need to check for product should be able to withstand 25 clients login happening simultaneously for 5 hours. Okay. So 25 clients are logging into your application in the same time and they are on the application for 5 hours. Okay. There are 25 clients on your application simultaneously for 5 hours. And the configuration can take up to only 20 clients. Okay. So this becomes your entry criteria to have your stress testing. And the exit criteria, product should be able to withstand the 100 clients simultaneously for 5 hours in the configuration that can take up to 100 clients. So your system or your application should be withstanding these many clients at the same time. That is, you are giving the stress to the application and testing it whether it works in all the worst situations or not. Like for example, you take the example of Google. So n number of users are typing into the Google at the same time. So still Google is responding you. So it means that Google server is withstanding with the n number of clients login at the same time. So it has the capability to handle all the requests which are getting into the server. So Google server can receive n number of hits at the same time and it is able to serve the purpose. Next is balancing the key resources. You can see the diagram. A juggler is juggling around the components which are your CPU, computer, and network, memory and disk. So these are the 4 basic components of your computer. Okay. So he is juggling in between the components. He is switching in between the components and he is trying to find out what is there and he is just moving on between the components. So like your how computer works within these components and its operation is seen one by one to another. So the concept of non-functional testing is with respect to these four components or resources, the four resources which are related to each other, and we need to completely understand their relationship to implement the strategy of non-functional testing. So to have your non-functional testing, so you need to have an understanding of how these resources are interrelated to one another and the implementation. So this comes your balancing key resources. So in the next session we will continue with the non-functional testing aspects. Thank you dear students.